There we go. We'll just lay the old lemon slices right on top of the dish. Pepper and lemon and soy. Isn't that great? And it really does work. It's a nice dish. All right, we'll set that aside because that's already in my steamer. Now, the next one that I want you to think about is a little meatball dish. It's kind of a Chinese pierogi or a Chinese ravioli. They did it first. I swear to God they did it first. Pork. I have about 3/4 of a pound of good lean pork that I've ground rather coarsely. I want a tablespoon or so of light soy sauce, about a half tablespoon of dry sherry. You're yelling at one another. That wasn't half a tablespoon. Let me do the cooking, will you? It was pretty close. It was pretty close. And a bit of ginger. And ginger strictly to taste. You just do it any way you like. There we go. I like a lot of ginger in this dish. And it's a pork meatball in a little dumpling skin. And it's called a shumai. Shumai. S-H-U-M-E-I. Shumai. And it's pronounced downhill. Chinese always goes downhill. Da-da, da-da. So it's not shumai. And it's not shumai. It's shumai. Shumai. When you go into a restaurant and ask for shumai, he'll be very charmed and you'll get good service. Let's add a pinch of cornstarch to this, probably a good teaspoon. Well, let's say half a tablespoon, huh? You're wondering, does this guy write his recipes before he starts? Well, sometimes. Sometimes. And we want an egg. All right. And let's see how that yolk fell apart. See how that yolk fell apart? Probably means it's not a terribly good egg. I'm not impressed. Not impressed. And let's see, we need some sesame oil. When you buy sesame oil at the market, be sure you get Oriental sesame. About a teaspoon or so of sesame. I want it toasted, you see. It's to look brown like this, you see. It's not clear like a salad oil. And this is used as a perfume in cooking. It's lovely stuff. And how about a shot of garlic, huh? Why not for our pork shumai or fancy pork meatball. There we go. And I think I need a pinch of brown sugar just because I have a lot of salt in the soy sauce. How about some green onion? Think that'd be good too? Let's do it. Let's put in a pinch of green onion. What's a pinch? All right, it's close to a tablespoon. Mix that up. Now, I want you to stir this until you feel it beginning to bind. That is to say it will begin to blend the lean and the fat together. There, it's beginning to be harder to stir now. I can feel the change with my hand. And that's how long I want you to stir it. Till it will, use your fingers, for heaven's sakes. Nothing else will work. And mix it until it begins to blend, and then it'll become thicker and thicker and thicker. You see? Now the whole thing is nice and thick. That's what we want. Let me wash my hand off here, and we'll begin on pork shumai. I want to show you how to fold these. They're really kind of a kick. And I think that it's necessary to now and then prepare a dish for your family that's a little strange and a little flamboyant. And I'll show you how it's done. All right, we have some wonton skins we picked up in the supermarket. Of course you can roll your own, and yes, I do know how, but it takes some time. And I don't think you need to spend the time. Most supermarkets in the country now are carrying a large selection of wonton skins and pickles and things from China. Isn't that great? There, I have one done. Now let me show you one from scratch here. They're simple to do. Take the skin, and a wonton skin, one, you see, put about a fat tablespoon of meat right in the center. Then you fold up both sides, 1, 2, then the other 2 sides, 3, 4. Then you squeeze this little critter just a bit, bloop, not much, just so the meat comes up to the top. Then you can use that to seal the whole thing together. Then whap him one on the bottom, give him a spanking, and then he'll sit up like a little money bag. This is a typical New Year's dish, a very delicious thing, and it's to make you think of wealth for the coming New Year, you see. Make a few more. As a matter of fact, let me get a lid here, or a rack. I would put these in my steamer basket right away. And you just pile these up in here. Cover the whole thing with wonton skins stuffed with pork shumai filling. You see? One more for you. And here we'll do another. Put them in the center. See how simple this is? The neat thing about this dish is that when you teach the kids to roll them, got it? Now give it just a squeeze. Boop. And then push the meat back in, and that will give you a chance to seal the skin at the top, you see? Leave it open. It's supposed to be open. And then pack it down. Here, give it a little spanking at the bottom, and it will sit up fine, you see? Shumai. Anyhow, the neat thing is to get the kids into the kitchen, and they can just have a field day making this sort of food. And that's what you want to do. Cooking with your children, cooking with your lover, cooking with your friends is so much better than buying instant foods or buying things off the rack. You know, who needs it? I found a jar of whipping cream yesterday that was dated, oh, I don't know, 2 or 3 years hence. And I began to wonder what's going on in the supermarket business. See, you and I need to think about cooking things in the freshest possible manner, not just because they're going to be much healthier for us that way, but because you and I are going to enjoy them more. And that's the point. There's no point in cooking if you're not going to enjoy the final product. And I want you to cook 1 day a week. Make a bowl of shumai filling, for instance, and stick it in the refrigerator. And then 2 days later, that's fine. You can still get by with it. You can invite the kids in and say, okay, we're all ready. Tonight we have shumai. God, I didn't even know you made shumai. We'll do it together. And then you come to the table, the whole rack of these things, and a little glass of wine, a nice green salad. Ah, you'll be declared a hero or heroine, depending which camp you want to be in. All right, I have another one for you that can be done very quickly. Some vegetables, for instance, work great in a steamer. And this is so complicated, I don't expect you to understand this recipe. If you don't, write us and we'll send you the recipe. This is too complicated for words. Are you ready? Make some very thin carrot sticks, put them in the dish, right? I don't peel carrots. Good Lord. Carrot he never expected to be peeled. He's shocked to death. On this side, you put some zucchini, right? Then on the top, you put the tiniest bit of salt. As a matter of fact, you could probably salt these later. And a stiff shot of pepper. And then a couple of slices of little pats of butter or margarine, depending on how you like to do things. I really think that butter, in the long run, is going to prove to be better for us than margarine. If we need fat in our diet, and we need a little bit, there's certainly no point. No, that's not a lot. That's less than a tablespoon for the whole dish. Cut it out. In any case, I think that butter is going to prove to be better for us than margarine. Hydrogenated vegetable fats, I think, are going to be very, very hard to digest. So cut down on the butter fat, but I still have a little bit to enjoy. So I'm going to put this in my steamer, too. There. Now, I'm going to show you one more dish. It's a custard. And I'm going to make it with boiled water because you don't want the custard to, well, water that comes from the tap is full of oxygen, live oxygen. You see it will bubble out. So what you want to do is boil the water flat so that the live oxygen in the water is gone, is dissipated. The water is then cooled, and you mix that with 2 eggs. You laugh at this recipe, but I'll show you how it goes. We're going to add 2 eggs to a bowl here. My eggs are at room temperature, always. Much easier to work with that way. 1. You're going to laugh at me and wonder whether or not this is going to work, but it will work. 2 eggs. And we're going to steam this custard. We're not going to bake it. It's going to be gorgeous. All right, that's not quite. Whip that up properly. Now, to that, we're going to add 1 cup of boiled water. Now, this is flat water, you see. Well, you see. Well, I mean, water looks like water. You're going to have to trust me. It looks flat to me. Anyhow, did you get that? 2 eggs to an entire cup of flat water. Cooled, of course. Don't put hot water in here. You're going to have real trouble. Now, I'll transfer that to a cooking dish. I'm going to use a small baking dish here. What would I like to put in that? Well, I think I'd like some green onions and perhaps a chunk of ham. The ham would give it a nice flavor. We don't need much here, that's for sure. Just a few tidbits of ham. And we'll put that in our steamer, and it'll take about 15 minutes. And then it will set up beautifully like a heavy custard. And you're wondering about whether or not this is going to work, aren't you, huh? Well, I'm glad that you're so pessimistic because I'm going to win today. I hope. I'm going to put in just a smidgen of sesame oil, like a teaspoon, no more. All right? And that will go into our steamer, too. Now, let me clear this off, and I'm going to unload all of these dishes, and you'll see what they look like straight out of the steamer for the method of jing, as we call it in China, or steaming, as you can call it in your front room, huh? First of all, let me undo the, what a mess. Let me undo the chicken dish here. The pan's been bubbling. Ouch, that's hot. I would take this to the table right in the dish. With the peas and the onions, do you remember? And I would serve it thusly. Look at it bubbling away just from steam. It's just beautiful heat. And then we'll show you some others here. Oh, you want to see the custard? That's the fun one. Where is it? Here it is. And you're wondering, here's the cup to hold it on, the cloth towel to keep it from dripping on my custard. And inside I have 1 dish of custard, you see? And if you don't wonder about that, let me find a spoon and show you that it really is a custard. Look at that. 1 cup of water, 2 eggs, a bit of ham. Look at how beautiful that is. You see, of course, the moisture forms in a little in the egg, but it's a lovely dish. You'll enjoy serving this. It's very good. Now let's undo the big steamer for the big time stuff. The big time stuff comes out of this one. Whew. First of all, we have some steamed carrots and zucchini. And these are crunchy. They're still fresh and good. You don't need that worn-out food in your house. Boiled vegetables. You know, when you buy a frozen package and on the package it says cook for 2 days. You don't want to do that. And some fish with lemon and pepper. I'll put that out for you. I'm burning my fingers. Yes, you're right. And I do appreciate your concern. And finally, I have a whole rack of shumai. You see? See how these are? Are they gorgeous? There they are. Right out of the steamer. We have 5 dishes. There should be 5 here. Yes, I want to be sure I had everything. We have a beautiful chicken dish in a Hunan steamer with onion and peas. Then we have a custard dish that's lovely and easy to do with 2 eggs and 1 cup of flat water. We then have a vegetable that you can use any kind of vegetable you want. Broccoli's terrific with these. This method, anything you like. And a fish dish, little lemon and pepper, soy sauce. That's easy. And finally, the old shumai. And the shumai are just terrific. The little fat money bag. By the way, I did oil the bottom of this steamer with just a bit of, I've just brushed it with a bit of peanut oil so that these wouldn't stick. Steaming is simple, it's very, very old, it's nutritious, and it's great fun. I want you to do it. I'm glad we could simmer today together and cook. Until we see you again then, this is the Frugal Gourmet. I bid you peace. Bye-bye.